mean, since I've been so good at saving my money, I think I should be able to buy it.
You have been good at saving?
Yeah.
She secreted to me that she was actually pregnant. She had married Lenny Kravitz. Oh, Debbie, no. She's pregnant. Denise Huxtable is not pregnant. Lisa Bonet is pregnant, not Denise. So no, you can't have it.
Lisa Bonet was gone, fired, pressured, misunderstood. And it wasn't just her. Marisa Tomei was next. 2 key actors out of a show that was supposed to launch them, all because of behind-the-scenes drama no one ever saw.
We have some things that we want to tell you. He said, "What is it? Are you pregnant?"
Pregnancy ignored, creative clashes, network meddling, personal battles. This was a different world. But behind the laughter, chaos ruled the set.
I didn't like the way they were treating Lisa Bonet.
Yeah.
And today, we are uncovering the real reasons why the people who helped make Hillman College famous didn't last long enough to see it through. Let's begin. In 1987, A Different World began production with excitement and high expectations. The show was a spin-off of the enormously popular The Cosby Show and was meant to showcase life at Hillman College, a fictional, historically black university.
Hi, Mom and Dad.
It promised to explore the experiences, challenges, and joys of black college students, offering a fresh perspective that television had rarely shown before. The network believed in the show's potential, and fans were eager to see Denise Huxtable, played by Lisa Bonet, take center stage. As the familiar face who had already captured audiences on The Cosby Show, Bonet's presence gave the spin-off both credibility and excitement. Lisa was at the heart of the project. Already well known as the spirited and beloved daughter on The Cosby Show, Denise's character was meant to lead the spin-off.
Well, I thought that the show just wasn't going to come back because she is and was the star of that show, you know, and our characters, at least mine, was based on her.
Revolved around her.
This was a big opportunity for Bonet to carry a show on her own, and the excitement was palpable. Everyone expected her presence to anchor the series and give it a distinctive voice. But behind the cameras, not everything was as smooth as it seemed. But behind the scenes, cracks were already beginning to form. Bill Cosby, who created The Cosby Show and held strong influence over A Different World, had a very specific idea of what the show should be. He wanted everything to fit within his carefully controlled image of the Huxtable family, and, by extension, the new series. His involvement meant that writers, producers, and even the cast often found themselves limited in what stories could be told. The first major challenge arrived when Lisa Bonet announced she was pregnant in real life. This was a joyful event for her personally, but it posed a professional dilemma. Lisa wanted her character Denise to reflect this change, to experience the realities of pregnancy while attending college. It could have been a meaningful storyline that added depth to the show and resonated with audiences. Debbie Allen was a producer brought to bring energy and authenticity to the series, saw the pregnancy as an opportunity, and thought including it in the storyline could have made Denise's character more relatable and allowed the show to explore new issues that college students face in real life.
Because that would be a great thing, to see a girl who's upper class kid having a baby, not married because she didn't want to be married, and the girls could root for her. I was explaining all that we could do. Well, honey, that was just...
But Cosby refused. She's pregnant. Denise Huxtable is not pregnant. Lisa Bonet is pregnant, not Denise. So no, you can't have it. No, we're not going to do it. No. He did not want Denise portrayed as a pregnant college student. To him, the character had to remain idealized and untarnished. His refusal set the stage for a growing conflict that no one could easily resolve.
2 weeks later, he says, "You know what, Debbie? No. She's pregnant. Denise Huxtable is not pregnant. Lisa Bonet is pregnant, not Denise. So no, you can't have it. No, we're not going to do it. No.
What started as a hopeful new beginning was already being consumed by unspoken tensions. The disagreements over Denise's storyline, her pregnancy, and the clash of creative visions were only the beginning. Behind the laughter and bright lights, the cast and crew were entering a period of uncertainty. Every decision, every script meeting hinted at the conflicts that would soon grow impossible to contain. And the pressures of maintaining the perfect image of Denise Huxtable while honoring Lisa Bonet's real-life experiences was building, and no one could predict how the show and its actors would survive the storm ahead. Tension was already at the climax. Lisa Bonet's pregnancy had become a constant point of discussion, a symbol of the impossible balance between personal life and the show's strict expectations. Debbie Allen and the writers wanted to tell an honest, relatable story, showing Denise navigating real challenges. But Bill Cosby's vision left no room for compromise. He insisted that Denise remain perfect, aspirational, and untouched by real-life struggles. Lisa, who had married Lenny Kravitz at just 19, felt the pressures intensely. In interviews later in life, she described feeling isolated and scrutinized. "It was hard," she said. "I wanted to be honest about my life, about being a young woman and a mother, but there was no room for that. I felt like I had to hide a part of myself to fit the show." Her words revealed the personal toll of being a young actress under immense expectations while trying to navigate her own life. Debbie Allen worked tirelessly to mediate, suggesting ways to incorporate Lisa's pregnancy into the storyline, making Denise's experience real and relatable. Yet executives and Cosby resisted. Every script meeting became a reminder that compromise was not an option. The pressure built, and Lisa's joy in her marriage and pregnancy was overshadowed by constant scrutiny and professional tension. And after months of struggle, Lisa Bonet left the show at the end of the first season. But here's the thing. While her departure was publicly described as a creative decision, those close to the production knew the truth. The clash between her personal life and the show's strong vision made her position impossible. The cast felt the impact immediately. Jasmine Guy, who played Whitley Gilbert, considered quitting in protest, upset by the way Lisa had been treated.
In front of the audience, in front of me, you disrespected me too.
How did he used to disrespect her?
Kadeem Hardison noticed the atmosphere shift. The set was now charged with unease. The series was no longer just about storytelling. It was about navigating power, control, and survival within the entertainment world. The loss of Lisa shifted focus to other characters. Whitley Gilbert stepped into the spotlight, and Dwayne Wayne's storylines expanded. While the show adapted and continued to entertain, the memory of Lisa's struggles and departure lingered. For Debbie Allen, the experience was exhausting. She described the compromises and constant negotiations as draining, a reminder of how fragile even a successful show could be under executive control. And by the end of the first season, the first major Quake had reshaped a different world. The foundations of tension, power struggles, and personal sacrifice were firmly established. Yet, the show pressed on, and new challenges were waiting. One of these challenges would center on another promising cast member, Marisa Tomei, and the executive decisions that would cut her story short. As the cast adjusted to Lisa Bonet's departure, a new challenge emerged.
I also had Marisa Tomei. Marisa Tomei was the only white character on the show.
Marisa Tomei, a white character, had joined a different world as Maggie Laughton. Her presence in the show offered a chance to explore the dynamics of race and culture at Hillman College, and the writers began crafting a storyline that could add depth to her character. The storyline was bold for its time. It centered on an interracial relationship between Maggie and Dwayne Wayne. The writers hoped it would show real college life and challenge social norms, making the show more authentic and engaging, and for Marisa, it was an exciting opportunity. She embraced her role and looked forward to portraying a character who could push boundaries while connecting with the audience. Now here is where the story gets interesting. Once the writers had finished, Debbie was ready to direct Marisa's storyline. But when the executives arrived, they rejected it outright. In the late 80s, an interracial romance on a mainstream sitcom was deemed too risky. As a result, they made a decisive move. Marisa Tomei was fired. For the cast and crew, this decision was shocking. Marisa had been committed, enthusiastic, and eager to bring life to her role. Her firing was not due to a lack of talent or chemistry. It was a decision made at the highest level, driven by network control and a desire to avoid controversy. Behind the scenes, Debbie Allen expressed frustration at the network's refusal to support a storyline that had real potential. Jasmine Guy, witnessing another act of disregard for the actors, felt the tension rise even further. And here is what even got her more startled. The network told her they are not addressing the white girl issue.
Black people.
It's becoming more and more apparent as we get older.
Fans were left puzzled. Marisa's sudden exit sparked discussions on forums and platforms like Reddit, where viewers shared their thoughts and speculated about the reasons for her departure. Many recognized it as a controversial move and debated how it affected the show's dynamics. Even years later, online conversations continue, reflecting the lasting impression of her firing on the audience. Marisa Tomei's departure highlighted a reality. Network executives held immense power over cast and storylines. Creative ideas, no matter how promising or well-intentioned, could be dismissed if they challenged the status quo. This incident was part of a larger pattern of firings, conflicts, and production challenges that shaped a different world during its early years. The cast had learned another hard lesson about life behind the cameras. Talent alone could not guarantee security, and even a promising character could disappear if executives deemed the storyline unacceptable. As the show moved forward, the absence of Marisa Tomei left a noticeable gap, reminding everyone that the pressures of network television could dramatically reshape a series in an instant. Yet, through all the setbacks, the remaining cast grew stronger. Whitley Gilbert and Dwayne Wayne became the central focus, and their chemistry carried the show through uncertainty. Behind the laughter and college stories, the cast had experienced the weight of executive power and creative clashes firsthand. The stage was set for new challenges, but also for resilience, as the series continued to evolve in the wake of these early controversies. Tomei's departure did not go unnoticed. Even before the credits rolled on the first episodes after she left, viewers noticed Maggie Loughton's absence. Questions began to swirl among fans who had grown attached to her character. Maggie had brought humor, intelligence, and a fresh perspective to Hillman College, and her sudden exit left a noticeable gap. People wondered why she was gone and what might have happened to her storylines. Online spaces quickly became centers for discussion. Reddit forums and fan message boards were filled with threads trying to unravel the mystery. Users shared observations about Maggie's early episodes, noted the unresolved plot lines, and pieced together rumors circulating at the time. Some guessed she had left voluntarily, while others suggested conflicts with the cast or creative disagreements. The truth, that executives rejected her character's interracial relationship with Dwayne Wayne, was not widely known to fans, but it became the subject of speculation and analysis. Discussions were not just about her absence. Fans debated what her character could have contributed to the show's narrative. Many imagined alternate storylines where Maggie and Dwayne's relationship could explore real issues of culture, identity, and college life at an HBCU. others analyzed how her removal shifted the dynamics between remaining characters, noting that Whitley Gilbert's role gained more focus after Maggie's departure. These conversations showed that viewers cared deeply about the show's storytelling and character development. And for the cast and crew, the attention from fans offered both comfort and a reminder of pressure. Jasmine Guy noticed the online conversations and recognized the audience's disappointment. It was a subtle acknowledgement that the characters mattered beyond the studio, and that the choices being made in executive offices were seen and felt by viewers. While the actors had limited influence over network decisions, seeing fans engage with Maggie's absence highlighted the weight of their work and the impact of creative conflicts. The discussions also reflected larger tensions within the show's production. Tomei's firing became a symbol of how network priorities could override creative ideas. Fans often debated whether the network had made the right decision, if the storyline would have worked, or how it might have changed the series' trajectory. Some believed the network had missed an opportunity to address important cultural themes, while others simply mourned the loss of a character they had grown attached to. Even years later, Tomei's brief time on the show continued to generate attention. Clips, forum discussions, and retrospectives revisited her exit, examining the circumstances that led to her departure. It became a touchstone for conversations about the pressures actors face, the influence of network executives, and the unseen struggles behind beloved television shows. The ongoing fan interest kept Maggie Lawton's memory alive. It reminded everyone that behind every departure was a human story and a set of decisions that could not always be seen on screen. The conversations also underscored the delicate balance of television production, the line between creative vision and executive control, and the lasting impression that choices made behind the scenes can leave on audiences. The reactions from fans added another layer of pressure for the cast and crew. Online conversations, forum threads, and letters to the network kept the production team aware that viewers were paying close attention. Marisa Tomei's sudden departure, along with the absence of Lisa Bonet, became frequent points of debate among audiences. Some speculated about the show's storylines, others questioned why beloved characters were gone, and still others wondered how the changes would affect the overall tone of the series. While fans discussed and theorized, the actors on set faced real-life tension that went beyond the cameras. Jasmine felt the weight of these pressures more than most. She had observed Lisa Bonet leave under immense stress, and she had been present when Marisa was fired due to a rejected storyline that was beyond anyone's control. The sense of unfairness stayed with her. Jasmine began to question her own place on the show. Would she face similar challenges? She even mentioned in a Breakfast Club meeting, "I never liked how Lisa was treated."
You know, I didn't interfere on set, but I was like, oh no, you're not treating her like that. She had to hire security.
Her concerns were compounded by what she saw happening with other cast members. Sinbad, who played a key role on the show, had experienced conflicts and perceived mistreatment, further signaling that the production environment was unpredictable. Jasmine noticed patterns of disregard for actors' input, and the idea that any disagreement could result in career consequences weighed heavily on her. Many of the cast members quietly acknowledged these tensions, forming small circles of support and understanding. Yet, the atmosphere was undeniably strained.
Always felt the exclusion. I always felt it. And I never felt a part of that whole, you get Emmys and awards.
Y'all never got nominated or nothing?
Never invited to the show.
Wow.
Like never
That
come
is
on and
crazy.
present a joint or just be in the crowd and let us shoot the cast.
That's okay.
Yo, word up.
You can't put too much clout.
According to Jasmine, in an interview, day on set carried reminders of the past conflicts. Scripts were rewritten multiple times to accommodate cast departures or executive preferences. Meetings with producers and network representatives became frequent, leaving the actors feeling like the show's creative decisions were always in flux. Scenes were rearranged at the last minute, storylines were reshaped, and character arcs were adjusted to fit the remaining actors. Kadeem Hardison, who played Dwayne Wayne, often discussed the changes with Jasmine and other colleagues, analyzing how each decision could impact not only performance, but also how the network treated them.
I saw it coming.
We saw it coming
And
because, you treating us like monkeys and we not monkeys.
Hey.
Yeah.
We're not doing your word, we doing our word.
Despite the ongoing tension, the show had to move forward. Episodes were filmed, lines were delivered, and production continued on schedule. Whitley Gilbert's character became more central to the narrative, taking on storylines that Denise Huxtable would have handled. Conversations on set remained measured, and laughter sometimes felt forced, but the actors adapted. They learned to deliver performances under the shadow of previous conflicts while keeping the storyline moving. The production team worked hard to ensure continuity, and writers constantly adjusted scripts to maintain cohesion. Even as rumors and whispers of disagreements circulated, the show continued to air, finding ways to survive behind-the-scenes turbulence. Through these trials, the cast developed a resilience born of necessity. Each episode reflected not just their acting skills, but also their ability to work amid pressure, uncertainty, and shifting dynamics. By adjusting to the evolving circumstances, the team kept A Different World alive, ensuring that the stories of Hillman College continued to reach audiences, even as the echoes of past departures and conflicts remained a constant presence. Even after the turbulence of the first few seasons, A Different World grew into a cultural touchstone. The stories of college life, friendships, and social issues reached audiences in ways few shows had before. The remaining cast members carried the show forward, expanding Whitley Gilbert's journey, Dwayne Wayne's storylines, and exploring themes that resonated with young viewers. And behind the laughter and dialogue, the history of departures and executive decisions remained a quiet undercurrent. Cast members moved on to new projects, but the experiences on set stayed with them. Jasmine Guy reflected in interviews about the pressure and strain she witnessed. Kadeem Hardison spoke about navigating the uncertainties and learning to adapt on the fly. For those who remained, the show had been both a proving ground and a source of lasting memories. Tomei's firing and Bonet's exit were still discussed years later, often in fan forums and online communities. Audiences speculated about what could have been, how storylines might have evolved, and how the chemistry of the cast might have shifted if these actors had stayed. The conversations highlighted that, for fans, the behind-the-scenes realities were inseparable from the story on screen. Despite the unresolved questions, the show endured. It continued to air, influence new generations, and leave an imprint on popular culture. The early controversies, the creative clashes, and the network interventions became part of the complex history that defined A Different World. They reminded everyone that television is as much about what happens behind the camera as it is about what appears on it. Years later, the cast reunited for an HBCU tour, reconnecting with audiences and celebrating the show's impact. The stage was filled with laughter, applause, and acknowledgement of the journeys they had shared. Though the past struggles were never forgotten, the reunion symbolized endurance, shared history, and the long-lasting imprint of a show that had once been fraught with tension, but ultimately succeeded in capturing hearts and shaping culture. Even with questions that may never be fully answered, what storylines might have flourished, how individual careers could have evolved, or what might have changed if certain departures hadn't happened. The show's influence is undeniable. A Different World remains a testament to the power of television to reflect real-life challenges, celebrate resilience, and leave a lasting mark on culture, regardless of the turmoil behind the scenes. But it also makes you wonder, if the behind-the-scenes battles had been handled differently, how much more could the show have achieved?